Police were forced to open fire on a naked man who refused to stop chewing the face off of another man.
A college student tells police he killed a housemate and then ate part of the victim's heart and brain.
Let you know when we are. Hello, everybody. If you can hear me, say hi in chat. There's usually a 2-3 second delay. Yay! They're all responding to me.
Awesome.
Welcome to the Rebel Dead Zombie Apocalypse Show. I am your host, IRGRL, IRGRL from Twitter, aka Stephanie, to those who know and love me more. And tonight with me, I would like to welcome Debbie, aka _Luna_78 on Twitter, and she is live with us via her cell phone. Everybody give her a great
Hello.
round of applause. But you're coming in very well, so.
Okay, that's a relief. I was a little worried for a minute.
And in-house, Phil's fan has just shown up. He's one of our, we have our Rebel regulars, and they're people that show up usually for every Sunday zombie show and every Monday Rebel live show, which is just a regular gaming show.
Yeah. Nice.
So they come every week. They're diehard fans. I want to get them big foam fingers or something. Phil,
Yeah.
But Phil's fan just showed up in the house. Shinto's here. MLG Blue. Kazuki is here. Those are the regulars. Usually we'll, and believe it or not, we'll be about an hour into our show, and a crap load of people will show up.
Oh, yeah, of
Because
course.
somebody always has to dispute everything that I say.
All right.
So was it last week or the week before, I had our head writer Barry on, and there was another woman from England on, and she was like coming at me. I liked it though because it gave us some diversity, but there was a moment where I was like, God, if I wasn't the host of the show, I'd kick her. But
Right.
but so I guess what I'm going to do is start off by asking you, what is your big fixation with zombies?
What is my big fixation? Yeah, I'm a little obsessed with zombies. I don't know, since I was a kid, I've been kind of hooked on horror in general, and my mom actually got me into that. I was pretty young when I started watching horror movies, so
Nice.
I don't know if that was necessarily good or bad thing. Kind of shaped how I am now, so whatever.
Now you have a lust for the living dead.
I do, and I just have always loved zombies. I love especially George Romero. I love his movies, and always wanted to write a book and thought it would be too hard, but one day I woke up and was like, I'm going to fucking do it.
That's
And
right.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yes.
So just to kind of catch you up on the past 6 weeks of shows. Listen, and Blue, you know what? Be nice. Behave.
Oh, what's going on?
Well, Blue says, oh, I hate George Romero. I can't
Oh.
enjoy COD because of the zombies. Because he did the zombie. Yeah, just, he can't get past it.
Oh, he's going to have to get over that.
Well, either that or he just sucks at gaming, so. By the way, MLG Blue is our channel bitch, so.
Oh, all right.
and he takes pride in that name, too. And I don't have him on live anymore because he's in the kitchen with his mother and she yells at him while we're on air, so.
All right, well, I think that bitch is an appropriate word then.
Mm-hmm. But we love him, so. But we love him. That's why he's our channel bitch. He actually is very helpful. He finds he's my go-to guy when I need something found on the internet. 9 out of 10 times he can find it for me, so I don't have to look, and I can sort of keep an eye on the chat. But he knows that, so it's all in good fun.
Well, that's
But,
good.
But yeah, plus it does give me a little bit of pleasure to call him the channel bitch. So
of course, who wouldn't get pleasure out of that?
So 9 out of 10. That's boss. Yes. Phil's fan. Am I the Photoshop guy? Yes, Phil. You are definitely the Photoshop guy. So I guess we've gone pretty heavily. The first few shows we talked about, obviously, in the news, the zombies,
Oh yeah,
all the stuff that's been going on. We kind of did the first 24 hours, the first 72 hours, and then the rest of the time we kind of went on. We've moved along now, and we've gone. I think we spent a couple shows deciding that we would probably all move to colder climates because of, we're filled with the luxury right now where they will, we have people that come and spray for the mosquitoes and stuff like that. But you have to understand, in a zombie-filled world, we wouldn't have those luxuries. So I think we all decided that probably one of our biggest concerns would be mosquitoes.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And that the malaria, just swine flu, things like that would become more relevant.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Rob says hi, everybody. He's walking behind me right now.
I actually said I love you.
He said he loves everybody. And say hello to Debbie. She's a zombie lover.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
We've been chatting. He's got all.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah,
that's my son, Rob.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
he's my
right.
son.
Nice.
So everybody's saying hi to Rob right now, and he's approving. He's looking around.
I mean, not to go off the subject of zombies, but is this Rob like Steeler fan, Rob?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, Rob at Rob Selig on Twitter. He is my son.
Yes.
He's my firstborn.
I can't believe he's your son. How is that possible?
Yeah, he's my son. I swear.
You're too young for that.
No, I birthed him.
Yes. Really good looking guy.
Yes, I did. He gets all of his good looks from me.
Of course.
All of them. 90% of what he is all my fault. So he wants me to let everybody know he is single.
All right. You get a lot of responses from the ladies.
Yeah. Oh, please. He's gonna be. Ladies, he will be single for a while still. So don't get your hopes up. Mom says so.
What? I'm moving out.
He's moving out now. MLG Blue says single. Oh, pedo bear face. Ew, Blue. That's nasty. Just knock it off. Oh, Shadow came in. Shadow's here. Where's he at?
23 years old.
Really, Blue? He's fucking 23 years old, dude. What the fuck? Maybe you're the one that's a pervert. Yep, Shadow's in the house. I see him. Hello, Shadow. He's hiding in the shadows. But back to the chat. I think we had talked about things last week. Actually, we had a really good channel. Lots of people showed up. And we discussed, I had sort of thrown out there the last couple weeks how, things that you don't think about, us losing long term, vaccinations.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
We talked about how the death rate would go up not just by zombie attacks, but because people that need medication would eventually die because there would be none.
Right, that's very true.
So
very true.
So, and now we're kind of up to date, and we hear the zombie dog in the background.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta keep him out of here.
Debbie's zombie dog in the house.
Yeah, I don't think people, you're right, people don't think about what's going to happen long term. I guess, you just kind of think about how you're going to deal with things.
Right.
And,
well, I'm always the person that kind of gives them the very dreary outlook on things. I just, when Barry was on.
Oh my God, it's happening!
Oh.
Zombie apocalypse is happening right now! It's happening right now! Get out of here. No. I've got somebody, I'm actually at her house, and she's just busted into the room to fuck everything up.
That's okay. Rob can actually edit that out. So
good.
The version that you hear, there will not have any of that in it.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Okay, I'm kicking her out.
Thank you.
But oh my goodness, ignore that.
So anyhow, getting on with things. First of all, I'd like to remind Shadow that you're supposed to make all of your food before the show starts. Thank you. No, Blue, your pedo comment will not be edited out.
Keep that.
That will stay in there so everybody knows. So anybody that might have MLG Blue in their little community, when the zombie apocalypse comes, remember he is the one that started talking about Pedo Bear.
Oh my goodness.
His comment and channel was fuck.
Oh, mental note.
Yes, everybody. So, long term, we had also discussed, I guess there would somewhat become a norm. Everybody, we talked, some people just opted that they would obviously live, they would prefer to live just with, either by themselves or with their immediate family. Others had said it would probably be better to live in a small communal society, which I had said that would probably be good, but be wary. Eventually everybody would have jobs. And this was the thing that really freaked out Barry. I said, when you live in you have to understand there's going to be no running water. There's going to be nowhere to flush your poop. And Barry freaked out. He's like, no, don't talk to me about that. And but that's a reality.
Yeah.
If, somebody would have to be in charge of probably burning that shit.
Yeah. You can't just, you can only dig so many holes.
Exactly. You know what? Cover it up and plant a tree there.
There you go. I mean, other animals do it. You may as well for at least a little while.
But that was the other thing we talked about. I'm like, toilet paper eventually would run out.
Oh, yeah.
That would be interesting.
And start getting creative with what you have to wipe your ass with.
Very. So, one of the things, though, that we had come across that I kind of wanted to roll back around on, and this brought up a pretty heated battle in channel because I disagreed with everybody, because that's what I always do. I can't go with the majority. People had said that there would be different strains of zombies. I believe actually maybe it was Kazuki that agreed with me right off the bat. He had said that, no, there were dead people are dead people.
Right.
Somebody said there would be like super strains. I said, this isn't a video game. There's not going to be crawlers in it or anything. It's just, obviously there might be crawlers, people that were in wheelchairs prior.
Oh, yes.
Could be crawlers because obviously, they can't walk.
Yeah, I mean, if you're dead, you're dead. I agree with that. Now, if there's something else that's causing zombie-like symptoms, that's different. That's completely different. But if you're dead, you're dead. I don't believe that there's going to be different types of zombies. Yeah. No.
Yeah. I have a cat that sounds like it's dying. It's being notified. I don't know. No, it's my kitten. I won't let him sit on my lap right now during the show, so I think he's pissed. He's meowing. Shush. I'm going to feed you to the zombie dogs that are out.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Send it over.
But, let's see. Shinto says in channel, he says it could happen, though, like different strains of flus, viruses, etc. Hey, Ms. Fan, what's up? In the house, everybody say hi to Ms.
Hello.
But no, it couldn't. We're going to get in this argument again, Shinto. It couldn't happen because they only have one part of their brain that works. They don't have functions in their brain for healing or morphing or anything like that. They have one.
Right. Very basic.
Right.
So.
One very basic need, and that is to kill.
I know people could go on and on and on forever because, it still is obviously a hypothetical situation. But,
Right.
I mean, if you really want to try to be realistic about it, I just don't see a way for there to be different types,
Right, exactly. So
Yeah.
I just don't think that, like, we're going to have, like, super strains, like, you know, like a werewolf.
Right.
You know, werewolf strain of zombies, or
I try to picture a zombie werewolf.
Ms. Fink can't hear us talking. He's on his Twitch app from his phone. He's like, are they talking? Yeah, we're talking, Ms. Wait, let me see. Hi to him in channel, so.
Oh my God! By the way, the room I'm in is
guys in channel, tell him to refresh if he can on his phone. That usually helps things out. So so some of the other things that we have talked about is why we would go to colder climates, obviously because of disease. So we decided we'd all be living in Canada.
Oh, that's the plan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, we were all like Canada, but,
oh, well.
well, I mean, we could go to like Wisconsin, but I think it still gets hot there in the summer.
Yeah.
We need to literally go to a colder climate that's not as hot in the summer.
Yeah, and you know, I'm sure lots of Canadians are going to die off.
It'll be okay.
I don't want to offend anybody, but yeah.
No, we do have Canadians in our channel, so.
All right.
That's all right. We have UKers that come in too, and we've killed off their whole country already.
Awesome.
Because you know, no, but you know, the UK, they don't have weapons.
Right, exactly.
So they can't kill the zombies. They just lie in fetal position and wait to be eaten. And see, if Barry were here, I know in the chat, it's in the subject that says Barry would be here. He told me he was going to be here, but he's probably been drinking again and fell asleep naked in his living room or something. Because as everybody knows, Barry is always naked.
What's the deal with that? Why is he always naked? Or why is he supposedly naked?
Well, because he's very proud of his nakedness.
All right.
And, you know, we don't have to deal with him. His wife does, so.
Okay. All right.
But he's never ashamed to tell us that when he is on air with us, he is naked. So I guess it's just to put that in our heads. Like, I'm sure, though, when the zombie apocalypse comes and Barry does live through it, because somehow he will be naked through the whole thing.
Oh, I'm sure. I don't know if that'll make him more enticing to the zombies, or...
I doubt it.
No.
He's British.
They may pass him up. We're looking for something better.
Oh my God.
Well, I was thinking, you know, and I've read this, and I'm kind of on the fence about it, but with zombies, if you're in a colder climate, do you think that it would slow them down?
No, they're dead.
No.
They have no feeling.
That's true. That is true.
You know, do you know what I mean? I don't think somebody had said a big topic last week was, you know, do they decompose because they're dead?
Oh.
They have, and I said, well, yeah, but I guess they would be able to be zombie-like until that part of their head decomposed. I mean, I would think that they could get down to bone, like on their arms and even on their legs, as long as that their head's intact. Because that's how you have to kill something. You got to chop its head off.
Right. So it doesn't matter what else is going on. And well, maybe, I guess the thing with it being cold and it slowing them down is not slowing them down, but slowing down, like, maybe how fast they decompose so that they're actually around longer.
Great. So now we have to fucking move. Thanks a lot for coming on the show. Goodbye, Debbie. No. Great, everybody.
Mosquitoes are.
Thanks, Debbie. Thank Debbie for us having to move back to malaria and swine flu.
Let's just go to Africa. Let's just.
Because she has reminded us, though, that the colder climates will probably keep zombies preserved more. So great. So we may not be dying of mosquito bites, but they'll be. You know what? Because the zombies will. If everybody. Oh my God. If everybody kind of flocks towards Canada, then the zombies will flock towards the live people, which are in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And now,
yeah, I just had to put that out there.
Wow.
Damn.
So, all right, we have, you know, a new situation now. That was something that we hadn't thought of, though, was that the zombies would actually not decompose as quickly as they would in the southern states. You know, so the more northern you go, the more preserved zombies would be, I'm assuming.
I mean,
Shinto says Africa would be dead in days, possibly. Possibly, I would think so. You know, I would think that big game would get them in Africa.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you think about it, honestly, they're not going to be, you know, running away from tigers. Tigers would be going after them, eating them.
That's right.
So, you know, I don't think... MLG Blue says, but the southern states have all the disease-transferring bugs.
Yeah.
Yes, this is true. But, you know, if we have zombies, you know, I mean, do you guys want to deal with bugs, or do you want to deal with more zombies? You know, because we at least figured that eventually over time, 50 years or so,
yeah.
you know, the zombies may start dying off, because obviously when somebody in your community dies, you would burn them. I mean, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
And because you're not going to have a lot of space, you don't really want to go outside of your compound unless you absolutely have to.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're going to burn those bodies and use the remains as fertilizer in the garden.
That's true.
Listen, I think everything through. Everything can be recycled, even us.
Oh, of course. Of course. You don't want to waste anything, so...
Blue says bugs, as long as they aren't cockroaches. Yuck. Blue, you have to understand something. You know, bugs that we're able to control with pesticides now are going to run rampant.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, bugs you know... all the bugs that are suppressed now, it's going to be like an uprising, not of just zombies, but of insects, too. You know,
if I had to have...
Everything on the shelves is going to run out eventually. We're not going to have the bug sprays or the... You know what I mean? And it's just... It will run out if there's nothing to make it. If there's no manufacturers anymore, there's nothing to make it. All of this, you know... Shadow Chaos says, so when I die, I will become a tree. Yes, Shadow. When we burn you, you will become a tree.
Oh, that's a good thought.
Yes. MLG Blue says homemade bug spray. Yeah.
Oh, how are you gonna? I mean, you're not gonna really have the resources. I mean,
you might though. You know, I had said I have a girlfriend in California who's a homeopathic medicinal practicing doctor. So she actually gets patients and they pay her and everything.
Nice.
Through insurance and everything. But what I'm saying, somebody like her would be like a hot commodity in your community, because she could like go out into the forest or wherever that you happen to be, you know, living, and say, oh, I can use this, I can use that. She's going to know what to use. If you don't have one of those people in your community, I would think it would be kind of, oh my God, you should hear them in channel. MLG Blue says, I want to be an apple tree.
An apple tree.
Oh my God.
Jeez, are we going to get stuck on the tree thing now?
No, MLG Blue would grow up as a fucking cactus. AKA a prick. I'm joking, Blue.
Well, talking about bugs, I don't know. I think I'd rather have a zombie eat me than be covered in cockroaches. I don't think I could handle that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You got to think about the things that would run amok. You know, things like cockroaches, spiders, ants. These are all things that we kill with. You know, even things like flies. You know, mosquitoes. All of the nasty freaking critters that we can take care of with a spray right now would not.
Oh no.
Would not be suppressed by sprays and stuff like that. So I would think that would. I would also think, we didn't talk about this yet, but like, in the first, I would say the first 6 months of a zombie apocalypse, I would think there would be like a horrible stench in the air.
Oh, definitely.
Like, could you imagine like it happening like midsummer.
Oh, yeah. Like right now would be the worst fucking time ever.
100 degrees out, 100% humidity, and you got people coming out of the ground dead.
Rotting bodies everywhere.
I would think the smell would, like, gag some people. That would be nasty.
Well, all right. So do you think that, like if people are already dead, you know, people that have been buried and they're in graveyards, whatever.
Right.
Do you think that they would reanimate, or do you think this would be something that only...
No,
because...
we're talking regular old zombies as we know them.
Mm-hmm.
That we've known for years.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because I've heard people say that, and I'm like, I can't really, I don't think that that would be the case, you know.
I think freshly buried people would be.
Definitely freshly buried, but not people that have been dead for years.
No, because I don't think, like I said, I think you need to have that head intact.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that, because what we know of zombies, there's that part in the brain that reanimates and that makes them come back alive. So they would need that part. They could have half their head blown off, but they need that one part of their brain to reanimate them, to make them come at you. And welcome to the channel, Mr. Loco. He was actually on our show last week, our gaming show. So,
awesome.
Welcome. And Loco, on with me tonight is Zombie Lover, Debbie, a.k.a. Luna. Her name's up there in the description, the underscore, blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah, I had to make it difficult.
MLG Blue says, yet how many people are cremated over being buried nowadays? You know what? I think actually more people are because it's more economical. I know that sounds really tacky, but with our economy the way it is, I don't think people have the money that they used to be able to spend on a funeral. Plus of the fact that people can't save like they used to. I know people that have, because of the economy, their savings has been wiped out, so they don't, you know.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure.
So I think I would say probably about half and half.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the topic of death comes up at weird times, but, you know, anybody I've talked to, almost everyone I know has mentioned being cremated over being buried, and I know that's what I would rather do. And I think a lot of it does have to do with the financial situations that people are in, but
absolutely,
I'm sure there's other reasons, you know.
No, I want to be cremated because the money that you're going to spend on the casket needs to be going to a big fucking party.
There you go.
And honestly, I already told my kids, you better throw a big-ass party, and you better celebrate my freaking life, because God knows I didn't get to do it. So.
That's right. You shouldn't be sad. I mean, you can mourn, but yeah, definitely a party.
Right. Throw a fucking party, lots of fucking alcohol, lots of shots. I'm going to have a mixtape just for my party, and nobody's going to play it until, like, that day. So,
you have a plan for what you're putting on that tape?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be done by Spotify, so if you'd like to sponsor my death.
Nice.
Spotify, if you're listening, anybody from Spotify, you can sponsor my death. I will be using music off of your site.
You never know. You might hear from them.
So, no, Blue, you can't DJ the party. You suck. No, but, Loco says funerals are expensive, and many people feel like they're unnecessary, considering the bodies will never be seen again. Absolutely. Plus, you know what? I hate going to people's funerals because, well, I'm not, you know, like, here in New Jersey, there's a huge Catholic. Everybody's like Catholic, Italian, Irish Catholic. Right. And, you know, they go up there, they do the whole sign of the cross thing. That's not me.
No.
You know, and plus, you know, I don't want to go up. I no offense or anything. When somebody walks up to a dead body in a funeral parlor and goes, oh, God, they look so good. No, they fucking don't. They're dead.
No, they fucking don't.
I just sit there. It baffles me. I'm looking at like, really? Like, they hug each other. Doesn't he look good? No, he doesn't. He's dead. He doesn't fucking look good. He's got orange paint on his face. Like, you know, like in life he did not wear all that makeup. You know?
No. No, and fucking Catholic funerals are long as shit.
Yeah, I know. My kids are Catholic. Their father's Catholic. They're all Catholic. So, but Ms. says donate your body to science. Well, you can't do that during a zombie apocalypse, Ms.
There's no science.
There is no science. I'm teasing. There's no more. There's no nothing.
Do you think you would see people when food is being depleted? I mean, I know people would be trying to grow their own food, but do you think you'd see a rise in like cannibalism?
Oh, that's something we never talked about. No, I'm waiting for the response in channel once the lag is over and they hear this before I really respond, because they're going to be like, ugh.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I do want to see this, because there would be a lack of meat unless you live in an area where you can go out hunting or fishing.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? But other than that, Loco says, "Oh God, why did I know this would happen?" Phil's fan says, "Cannibalism." Shadow says, "Oh God, cannibalism." I would think. See, this is where I think though that if you didn't, you guys can tweet that out there too. What you're talking about right now, cannibalism on Twitch TV.
Nice.
But I would think, I think people's heads would, I think, play games with them during, either you're going to know what's, okay, this is my plan, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to ration, or you're going to be one of those people that just does not know what to do, and you go months and months and months. You might, and hunger is survival is a key thing. True. And you don't know. There might be somebody that I would think that it might become more relevant. If you don't know how to hunt, if you're only with a couple people, or if other people are depending on you for food, you might go out and kill somebody and cut them up before you bring them back to camp and go, oh, look at this.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And not tell them what it is. Cook it over,
And would they really know? They might. And what if they think it's the best thing they've ever had in their life, They're like, go out and get me some more of that, whatever that was.
Yeah. Go get me some more of that ass fat. I would think that would be probably the best part to eat, though.
The ass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not unless you find a really fat person. No offense to anybody that's overweight. You take out the stomach. That's a big piece of meat there, a 500-pound person.
Damn. You share that with the whole community.
And you know what? What I'm saying, though, is you can find a lot of that down south. So just
Yeah, you can. I'm in Texas, and let me tell you something.
I know. I've seen pictures.
I'm going to be looking around every day now.
She's going to be looking for potential food.
I'm going to be like, I need you when there's a zombie apocalypse. I need you. I'm going to start making a list, taking pictures.
Checking out the neighbors.
Stalking.
Stalking. No, eat some more. You guys didn't eat enough. Pumping up the neighborhood.
I'll start baking cookies. Here, you're too skinny. Eat this shit.
I'm 450 pounds overweight. I can't move out my front door. No, you need another cookie. Eat some more. You are my main meal, lady.
Oh, man. I need to get on that. My neighbors are too thin.
Phil's fan says, he's saying this is you talking. Hey, what's your address so when the zombies come, I can eat you?
That's exactly what I would
But seriously, in channel, what do you guys think? Do you think cannibalism would become something that might be more relevant? And, you think a few years into this living situation. Do you think that, I guess maybe hungry enough that, Loco says this isn't farming. In a sense, it is. I call it, you know what I would call it? I would call it selective living.
Selective living, I like that.
You look at the people around you and you go, you know what? You're really probably not going to make it anyways, so we're just going to kill you now and eat you.
Yeah, first rule, what was it? Cardio?
Phil's fan says it would become more relevant as time goes on and supplies are scarce and you don't have much to hunt with either.
That's right.
Shadow Chaos says, I'm worried on how our community will deteriorate. Kazuki says, I do think people would do it.
Yeah.
I do too, and I think because of the fact that this is where I think living in a community, I have a sustainable garden already outside. I'm growing food that I'll be able to can and preserve, and you know what I mean. So I would know how to grow food or cultivate food like that. You might live in a community that doesn't know how to do that.
Oh, for sure.
All it's going to do is take one person, and you have to understand. I think everybody's. I don't see. It really depends. I think on who you are in a society with, what group of people you start this new way of living with, and if you've got somebody who is maybe constantly negative about it, I think, it's kind of like, and I hate to relate it to this, but it's kind of the only way. It's kind of like when a woman or a man is in an abusive relationship for years and years and years, and they kind of don't, and then 20 years later they get out of it.
Yeah.
And they kind of don't. It's normal to them. So I would think if you're in a community with somebody that's constantly talking about this, finally the sound of killing somebody off of food's not going to sound so bad after a while.
Right. It's like drinking the Kool-Aid.
Loco just sent me a link. It says, Steph and Luna, this is what will end up happening to the cannibals. I'm going to click on it.
Oh, no.
Okay, it's a very ugly picture of, it's from Dead Space 3 feeders. All right. Well, see, that's also something to think about, because, I don't even like, I would rather talk about where we're going to poop than this. I mean, honestly, it gives me kind of, we had also, because wait a minute, though, let's relate this back to one of our previous conversations about AIDS.
Oh, yeah.
See, we had talked about this a couple shows back. I kind of threw this on everybody when I threw at them. There's no vaccine. There's no protection. Sex. There's nothing to cure STDs. There's nothing. And we still have to deal with the AIDS virus, which is probably one of the biggest relevant diseases of our time. And, so are you that hungry that
you're going to take a chance?
You're going to take a chance on... because it is in the blood. So, what if you don't, it's just, do you want to take that chance if you're that hungry? I would honestly, I do know that if I'm living in a forest, if I get that hungry, I can go eat pine needles off of a pine tree. I do know, there are things that I know, there are roots that I know to dig up and look for. So I think that, you know what? Everybody's going to want me in their community because I'm pretty awesome like that. No, but I do.
Right.
Those are, I may not know a lot, but I know stupid things that won't help me right now.
Well, but you know what? I think it's good. I think that more people need to learn things like that and need to learn more about, just basic survival, techniques and come up with a plan. Because if you don't have a plan, I don't know if there's really a really good way to plan for a zombie apocalypse.
Actually, this is why we had started the show, because I think there can be with a show like this. We discuss this every week, and, so maybe, we think of, obviously, all the quote-unquote things you would have in a first aid kit. Because your survival kit's going to be more than a little bag. It's going to be a bin.
Yeah.
And in that bin, I would actually have seeds.
Oh, yeah.
I would have a whole, because I actually have because this is part of my new, I've kind of resorted back to, like I said, sustaining, trying to do as much as I can to sustain my family myself without having to rely so much on produce from the food store. I found a grain that is actually complete protein.
Nice.
And by the way, I just want to, Loco and Channel says Steph's survival tips are subtle ways of telling us she plans on eating us all since we don't know any of this stuff.
Watch your ass.
No, no, I'm going to be honest with you. But I was also the first one to tell everybody in Channel that I would kill my own family if they were infected. So, and then when I told them that, they were like, "Oh my God, she's like harsh."
Well, hey, you know, I mean, I would never just wait for someone to die and turn. The second it happened, I'd shoot him in the head. I wouldn't even hesitate.
Yep, same here.
You can't do it. You have too much time to think. You just fucking gotta do it. But
yeah. No, I am. You know, I think that I will be really ready because part of my survival kit obviously will have seeds, and it's gonna have a shitload of seeds in it too. You know, I know how to. I was just telling them, I think last week, I told them I know how to make an oven out of a pizza box, a solar oven. No, you make a solar oven out of a pizza box and like foil and stuff, and it actually heats up to about 250 degrees.
wow.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely a good thing to know.
You know, Loco says needs more guns. You know, but even the guns, eventually, unless we have somebody that knows how to make bullets, and there are people out there that can make bullets, you know, I would think that guns would eventually become kind of useless.
Yeah, you gotta stick with blunt objects.
Ammo will run out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, initially, it would make me feel safe for a little bit, but I'd rather have some heavy blunt object or, you know, I don't know, there's several things. You gotta be practical about it, though. And, yeah, guns in the long term, like you're saying, it's not gonna be good. And how many people are you gonna come across that can make bullets? I mean, enough for everyone.
Right, but you know, I think what will become probably one of our greatest resources a few years into the zombie apocalypse, I would say it's going to be junkyards.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, but things like, you know, we don't think of now, you know, if you're living in a community, you can have a group of people that are the scavenger people that go out driving. You know, siding on a house will be very important to rebuild for your own community. You can go even rip that off of, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm saying there's things but junkyards, because, you know, you take me to a junkyard, I can probably find everything I need to make solar panels out of as well.
Right.
There'll be enough cars with empty batteries. That's where you can store all of, you know, so we actually could have electricity in our community. We could be able to use it to heat up, you know, even use one of those little burner stoves. You know, I'm saying it can be done, you know, so since I will be the best person in your community, I will be the leader. No.
All right. I don't know. I'm starting to think that might be the case. I'm going to have to get up to Jersey if something goes down. The hell out of Texas. Bring some of these big people with me.
Yeah, just, you know what? They won't be able to really chase you, so just walk down the road and have them follow you till you get to Jersey. Although they might lose a couple pounds.
Yeah. I don't need them getting skinny after I spent all that time fattening them up, you know? So.
All right, MLG Blue just posted a link. You know, Blue, I just want you to know that you've alerted every FBI agent on the internet right now to our stream. So everybody say hi to the FBI. Thank you.
Hello, FBI. Oh, God. I'm going to eat all the fat people in Texas.
No, actually, there is a list of keywords, and ammunition is one of them that does alert them on the internet, because, you know, although I know how to use a secret internet that I cannot tell anybody about. But MLG, everybody's saying hi to the FBI right now. But by the way, the FBI will be very irrelevant during a zombie apocalypse.
Yes.
Because we had talked about that too. Years and years in, we know the government goes underground. and they probably have enough food to sustain them. They have living quarters down there. They have food. And it's enough to last them for literally years upon years. And I had brought up the question. I don't think we really expanded on it too much. But let's say we've been living like this. I'm going to give you guys, everybody in channel scenario right now. Let's say we've been living in our communities for about 10 years now like this. And Phil's fan, concentrate, honey. Please stop giving links to your shit. We can show all your stuff later. I'm going to have to turn on the freaking link protector in here.
Got a one-track mind right now.
But no, you're not. You're showing links of your stuff. I need these people to concentrate. It's like a group of kindergartners. I can only keep you guys concentrated for so long, and I lose you. So, okay, guys. Let's say honestly, we've been living like this for about 10 years. We're still there's still zombies roaming around. We have to watch out for disease, and all of a sudden, let's say the government they show up.
Oh.
Let's say they send out agents and they say, listen, we are going to you can't live like this anymore. The government's back in force, and this is what we are going to do now. What do you say after 10 years?
Fuck you.
Watch the reaction channel. I'm waiting for this. And I'm being very serious. You have to imagine that there's government agents sitting at the door of your compound, and they're saying, what you guys have been doing out here is not relevant anymore. You need to listen to us, and you need to come with us now. What do you say? And
yeah,
I'm waiting for the reaction from some of our more adult members. No offense to you, Blue. Shadow Chaos brings up a good point. He says the government will most likely raid our stuff for their own survival, just because they think they can. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So at this point though, what the fuck link are you putting? I swear to God.
With the link already.
I know. I'm gonna. All right. I'm gonna have to. I hate to do this to you guys, but I'm gonna have to put on the link thing where you can't post links in the chat room anymore.
And I can't even see them, but damn it, they're already annoying me. No, I'm just kidding.
No, guys, come on. Seriously. Rob, you can edit this part out where I'm yelling at everybody in channel like they're children. But you know, the thing is, though, do you, let's say they do. Let's say they come in and they say, you know what, we see that you've built solar panels and we have a wind turbine and we're storing energy in old batteries from cars. You know what, we're going to confiscate this stuff. Okay, now let's say that we're all living,
right.
Let's say we're all living in a community together, all of us together, and they come in and they say, okay, you know what, we're taking that. These batteries full of energy, we're taking, because let's say 10 years into this, they're starting to run out of shit now.
Exactly. So they need to come out and find it.
So they need to come out and find it, and they're going to go after some of the bigger communities. Let's say our community is fucking kick-ass.
Right.
That we have, because, you know what, we've been talking about this for all these years now. We're prepared for this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say they go in. Let's say we have 50 batteries that stores energy for our electricity, for our immediate needs for electricity. And they want to take them all. They start going for them. They're walking in. They're going to take them. What do we do? And
I think there's going to be a big uprising is what I think.
You know what? The way that I would think, Miss goes, I would say, thank God, I'm sick of the zombie apocalypse. But you know what, Miss? They're not there to help you, Miss. You have to understand this. And if you don't get this now, that the government's not here to help you now, what the hell makes you think that they're going to be there?
When this happens, you can't trust the military, you can't trust the police, you can't trust the government. And then they can act like they're going to help, but they're not there to help. It's only going to get worse.
Loco says, I wouldn't trust them to correctly appropriate our items, consider pork barrel spending, and the bank funds that Congress tapped into. Well, you know what? If they came in and started taking my stuff, I would give them a warning first, and I'd tell them, this is our community. You are now in my government, and you are intruding on my government. And if you touch my batteries and you take my energy, I'm going to kill you. Because as far as I'm concerned, I have been living 10 years with no government, and you're going to come out of the ground now after you're all clean and you smell good and you've got nice clothes on, and you know, you've been living in air conditioning and you've had your vaccinations, and when you get sick, you have over-the-counter meds still, but we don't. And we haven't for 10 years. And I really would. I think that the government will find themselves dead.
Oh, for sure. People aren't going to just sit back and let them take over when they haven't been instrumental in helping. I mean, they haven't helped at all, you know. Exactly. So how can they just come out of nowhere and that shit wouldn't fly? People would do anything in their power to keep it from happening.
Ms. says, wait, Kazuki says, Ms., they would most likely shoot you on sight. If they came, you have to understand something, though. Yeah. If we've been warding off zombies this entire time, you know what? They come in with the gun, I think we're going to learn how to be able to take that gun away from them.
Damn straight.
I think we're all going to be a little, you know, MLG Blue says, would you think the government would try to be civilized and try to trade? No.
No. No.
Are they civilized now?
When have they ever been? I mean, like you said, if it's not that way now, there's no way in hell.
Welcome to chat. I'm sorry, don't mean to interrupt you.
That's all right.
Welcome to chat, DSC Studios. She's one of our resident females on staff here.
Hello,
our Rebel regulars. So, she says they would just roll in and take shit. I don't believe they would be able to take anything. I honestly believe that if I'm living in a community and we've worked hard to make sure, you know, we've had to risk our lives going out, outside our compound where we're living to find batteries to store energy, because that's what we would need. And they're going to be, as many batteries as we can take is as much energy as we can store. So that's going to become crucial to our survival, is those batteries. And if the government comes in and decides they're going to take the solar panels that we have built and made and take our wind turbine that we have built, that's you know, if we can get a good wind turbine going, you know, we can actually filter water from a stream or a river nearby for us. You know, so we could have it actually running into our community. What I'm saying, though, is that, you know, I would actually, you know, now I'm thinking, you know, maybe we get them to let them take some of us. You know, okay, wait. In channel, Loco says that implies that your community is large enough to fend off an armed force. If this is military or paramilitary forces we're talking about, they'll likely have IFVs or armored vehicles to kick our asses. Phil's fan says, well, if you have to think about what technology they have still saved and have, as far as we know, they may have a whole armory left and maybe a tank or two, then we stand no chance. It all depends what resources government. Okay, first of all, okay, they might. I agree.
But
honestly,
could happen.
But I really do. I think that there would be a civil war.
Definitely, there would.
You know what? I will be damned if I'm going to let these fucktards that have been making me live like this for 10 years come in and take you know, I've had to deal with probably zombie attacks. I've had to probably deal with children dying in front of me, with people disease, you know, for 10 years, and now you're going to come in and you're going to take the shit that we've been surviving with for 10 years. But no.
I mean, they can definitely try, and you know, who knows? Well, depending on what they have, we could lose, but nobody should just,
all right,
you know,
well, then
sit down
I'm
and
going to
take
give
it.
you guys a very realistic scenario. I'm going to give you Syria right now.
Oh, fuck.
I don't usually like to bring up government like this, but if we're talking about, you know, you got to understand, we're going to be living with the living dead. We're going to be living with something that's going to want to come at us whenever the wind blows and they can pick up our scent,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to be coming at us. We're going to have to protect our community for 10 years with, dead people. It's not, it's going to be a very serious thing. And so, let's say, you have to understand too, I have a military base right down the road from me, the Naval Weapons Station, IRGRL.
Yeah.
And basically the only thing that's used for now is for loading ships with ammunition.
Shit.
We don't know where the ammunition comes from, but there's a train track that brings it down to the bay, to these big ships down there. All right. I don't know what kind of arsenal they have in there, but I'm pretty sure that the top part of that base, if there is an underground, I don't know. I've never seen it, but whatever's up above I don't think that military weapons will be as relevant 10 years from at the start of a zombie apocalypse as we think it would be. They might have weapons, but I don't think they'll have. And you know what? If a tank rolls up outside my door, one tank, and they come in, you know what? They will have to tear down my whole community before I will go down fighting for it, because that's what we have all built to sustain ourselves for these 10 years. And
yeah, I mean, whether they win or not, nobody should sit and take it. I know I would.
But that's what I'm saying. Look at the people of Syria now. They have fought back so much now, and unfortunately, a lot of loss of lives.
Mm-hmm.
But now rumors are that Assad is very wounded in one attack to, I guess, where his compound he was staying in. His brother is possibly dead, and some members of his immediate staff are either dead or severely injured, which is a huge plus for the people of Syria. So what I'm saying is that, power to the people, and if you have to live a certain way, if my government has made me live this way for 10 years, and then they're going to come up out of the ground smelling like fucking roses and not fucking.
And you have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose.
Exactly. You have nothing to lose at that point.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to take what I've built and what we've done to keep us safe for 10 years. They're not going to know what it's like to have to fend off a zombie.
That's right.
They're not going to know. Really, though, I think that their chances of survival above ground would be significantly small.
It's a good point. That was a good point.
If the minute this gets announced over the air and they all go underground and they live this way, they can't monitor for very long, because there's going to be no satellites in space anymore. There's going to be, you know what I mean? Because electricity is going to go down. They're not going to be. I'm sure that they have their resources underground, but those are only going to last so long.
Yes.
Loco says the main concern would likely be fuel. Maintaining weapons will also be difficult, especially if rifles and ammo have been sitting for years. That shit collects dust, dirt, grime, etc. You're absolutely right. DCS Studios says within 10 years, most resources that we use every day, life, gas, electricity, will either be gone or a precious commodity. Yeah, I mean that's something to think about. I think you're not going to let somebody come in and take your shit. I don't care who it is, because at this point there is no government. 10 years into this, whatever community you will live with, that's your government.
That's your government. And you can't just, I don't think anybody at that point would let it happen, or at least without fighting back. And if they did, I'd be pretty fucked up. I can't imagine anybody just,
I know. But I think our government's so fucked up that they would. I think that they would come out of the ground, but I think if they had to surface because they were running short of supplies, I don't think that they would live long through it.
Probably not.
I don't think,
because they haven't been surviving. I mean, they've been living underground. They haven't had to really fight to survive. So they're not going to have the skills that it takes to make it.
Exactly.
All that's going on.
Loco says having limited resources will likely be the equalizing force on the battlefield. I don't think so. I think I think people having to live with the threat of disease and being bitten by the living dead, you know what? It's kind of like it's kind of like a mother and her children. There is nothing that's going to get you in between those. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
you know, and that's, you know what? Especially, you know, I will have kids in that community, and that will be my kids' community, and that's the community I will have built to keep them safe.
Right.
And I'll be damned if somebody's going to come in there, because to me there is no government, you know, because I'm sure the first year everybody's going to be like, where's our government? Where's our government? You know? And
yeah,
they're
and
having
people underestimate, you know, if someone fights hard enough, someone really has something to fight for, they have the will to live, it doesn't matter what the hell you do.
Right.
And dealing with all that, you're not going to be scared of anything. And you're not going to let someone come in and take all your shit. So, I mean, I think that the people that have been out there having to deal with it on a daily basis for years are going to have an advantage. I don't care what what their artillery is like and I don't think that, I mean, I could see it. I could see how people worry about that. I just don't think that it's going to matter at that point.
Right.
So.
You know, because you know, it'll be like us against our government against the zombies. Like, we're all going to be fighting the zombies, but we're going to be fighting the people trying to take, you know. Because I don't see after, you know, like I said, 10 years into this, I don't see how our government could all of a sudden surface and try to restore some kind of establishment within our country.
Right. And then, you know, at that point, the zombies would be, you know, the lesser threat.
Right.
It's kind of a scary thought.
But you know what, though? I mean, I think living with this every single day, day in, day out, we would get better at it.
Oh, yeah.
We would get more, you know, we would get better at warding them off. So I think longer term, you know, God, we don't want to live like this, because, you know, the good side of it is we would know how to better deal with the zombies. The bad side of it is you know, 10 years into this, we would all be very hairy people.
Oh, you're bringing that up.
I can't help but think about it. Everybody at channel's going to hate me, too.
It's very true. I have to agree with you. We would be covered in hair. Women everywhere.
Yeah.
It'd just be hairy bitches running around.
It would be like the 70s hippies epidemic.
Oh, God, it would be, yeah. You have to wonder how much sex people would be having at that point.
Ms. says, what is the possibility of things like vaults from Fallout being implemented, but not like a nuclear situation? Well, you know, I know that there's people even, you know, I know there's a lot of people here in New Jersey that have bomb shelters.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that we have Fort Bragg here that recently actually just shut down. But we also have the Naval Weapons Station, you know. And if they decided to bomb, I mean, honestly, if there's we wouldn't live. I'm that close that we would be wiped out, and we already know that. So it's not even like we can't even like go into the basement and try to survive. We would just be wiped out.
Just be over, yeah.
Yeah, because they have so much ammunition there that we're done. New York City's done because we're only 8 miles across the water from the city, so pretty much this whole area.
Of people.
Yeah. So I know there are a lot of people here. In fact, they did a story on it. A few years ago, we had some kind of scare. I forget what it was, and they were telling people to buy like black plastic bags to cover up their windows and shit, and like duct tape. And they had articles in the paper about people that have been buying food for years and years. They showed this one guy's house, and his basement was larger than his upstairs living. Like, he had actually bought the property next to him just to build underground, and it was just rows and rows, and it was like a grocery store, but it was underneath his house and underneath the ground. And he's prepared for World War III, he says. But little does he know, he's also prepared for a zombie apocalypse.
Yes.
You know, so...
well, You know, a lot of these, have you, like that show Doomsday Preppers, have you seen that?
Yes, I have.
Oh. It's people. I mean, some of them I think have good ideas, but I don't know. I just think that, like, some of the things that they prepare for, if it's not that one specific thing that happens, they're not going to really, I mean, there needs to be some kind of general preparedness plan that's going to work for any situation. I know it's kind of broad, it's kind of hard to do, but...
Right, Ms. Fan says, no shave November for decades. You know, but it's true. You know, those are the things that we think about, that we take advantage of now. You know, it's just, you know. But I don't think those things would become relevant to us either, though.
No.
You know, food is probably going to be one of our food and staying healthy, warding off disease are probably going to be our first two main priorities after being able to protect ourselves from the zombies.
Right,
you know,
because we're all going to be hairy and smelly and dirty.
And they're going to be able to smell us and find us.
Yeah.
But I also think, though, that the longer we have to live like this, I don't think after a while we'll stink so much. I think that we'll become,
you get used to it.
No, but we'll, like I said, I think those of us that can will become very resourceful, and
yeah,
you know, we're going to have to find a way of living. Obviously, when I think the shock of what has happened and what we're living in is over, then you're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of, okay, well, now what? Now what do we do? You know, you can't wander around forever. You can't just do nothing forever. You're going to have to find some type of normality in a very abnormal world. Going outside of whatever compound might be the difference of life and death.
Right.
You know, whenever you do go out, for maybe to look for supplies, or maybe to go down to the junkyard or go raid a house or two. I mean, the possibility of not coming back is very real. You know, it's kind of like you'll have sirens. You know, like we have sirens here for snow days. When I lived in Alaska, we used to have polar bear sirens that would go off.
Wow.
So we would have like a zombie alert system, like when they're in the area. You know, because also, though, I mean, that's something else, though, you know. Does a scratch from a zombie kill you, or does it have to be a bite? Because is it the saliva?
Or the blood?
Or the blood,
or,
you know?
Well, that's a good question. And,
you know, like we're running, let's say we're out picking berries. Or whatever, or getting stuff that we can't grow ourselves within our compound. And every day we send out, you know, a group of people. Let's say we stumble upon some zombies, and, you know, getting away from them, we get scratched. First of all, though, if you do get scratched, do you go back to the compound and tell everybody, or do you hide it?
Honestly, what I would do, I would hide it, because
be honest. I want everybody in channel to be very honest. You're living, they're going to kill you.
Yeah.
Because I had already said that I would, you know, if I thought I'm just going to fucking shoot you, because I don't want to take that chance.
Yeah.
Of you possibly turning into a zombie quicker than we expect, and you killing off somebody else in our community.
And I feel the same way, but I can't say that if I got scratched, I think I'd keep that shit to myself and just kind of see how it plays out. You know, you start having some symptoms of whatever's going on, then maybe I'd be like, okay, y'all need to kill me.
Ms. says in channel, couldn't the zombies be completely eliminated when they are small in number, like as if they just started appearing? Right. Well, we had also talked about this previously a little bit, but we hadn't expanded on it too much. The thing is, though, we had talked about those first few years, and I'm talking like maybe even 5 years, you're going to have people out there wandering around, they're just going to kill over and die because maybe they should have gotten some medicine, or maybe they had cancer and maybe they didn't know it, and they lived for 4 more years with the cancer, and then one day they kill over. There's nobody there to bury them, so you're still going to have people dropping dead in this kind of, that aren't going to be attacked right away by zombies or be infected, because that's the other thing though. If somebody dies from natural causes out in the open, and after they die a zombie comes up and eats them, do they turn into a zombie?
Oh. Wow, I would say, I guess it depends on how much time has gone by, right?
I don't know. I'm waiting in channel. I'm waiting to hear what they say in channel about this one, because usually they've got something good to say. No, they do though. So, because they actually, the channel, I know you can't see it yourself, but it's filled with lots of different conversations. So,
nice.
But I don't think, would it be, you have to think also. I need to look up the stat real quick. I'm going to find out because I gave everybody a stat last week and it kind of blew them away. Over 500,000 people this year will die of cancer.
Jesus.
In the United States, 500,000 people will die of cancer this year in the United States, 2012. So that's when you think about that, that's, you think about just cancer. Okay, well, what about, you don't have medicine for diabetes anymore.
Right.
So, and even the type of diabetes, I forget, it's type 1, I believe, that's food controlled. Well, people aren't going to be eating what they're supposed to be eating to control that.
Oh,
so they're probably going to die.
That's going to fuck them up.
People
really,
that
yeah.
People that have asthma that aren't going to have inhalers anymore.
Yeah, they'll be gone. There's a lot of things.
So I think for quite a number of years, maybe 10 years in, we're still going to have dead people roaming around.
Yeah.
So I'm looking. Here we go. Wait, why do I keep falling upon?
Well, so if someone dies of natural causes, then they should be burned.
All right. Okay, listen to this stat. Okay, I'm going to read something to you guys, so listen, this is kind of important. Stats have calculated the mortality rate for the world to be roughly 0.883%. This means that 1 out of 113 people in the world died last year. Based on this rate, here's an estimate of the incident of death among people now living in the world. 1.78 deaths per second, 107 deaths per minute, 6,390 deaths per hour, 153,000 deaths per day, 56 million deaths per year, 3.9 billion deaths per average lifetime of 70 years.
Jesus. That's fucking crazy.
So that's, and while I've been on this page and I've had it loaded, 110 people have died. It has the number of people in the world who have died since this page was loaded. Literally, one person dies every second.
That's just hard. I can't even wrap my brain around that.
Loco says that be the circle of life.
Yes, it is.
That's some crazy shit.
That is.
I also found this on the Hebrew page, so why they want to know how many people die every second is beyond me. But now I'm still on this page, and we're just under 200 people have died since I've been on this page.
My God.
I almost feel like because I'm on this page, I have killed them.
You've murdered all those people.
That's crazy. Those stats are crazy.
But is it morbid that I want to see how many are going to be dead after 5 minutes?
Yeah, sure, I'll just keep it on the page. I'll just keep going back to it every so
keep
often.
Going back.
And I'll let you guys know how many people have died since we loaded that page. So Ms., you take that into account. And then you have to take into account all of the people that won't have their medicines, how long they might live without their medicines. Some people who probably might have been diagnosed. Let's say the zombie apocalypse happens this year. People that have cancer now that have never been diagnosed with it, that will live for a few more years, are going to eventually die of their cancer that they're not going to know that they have. So you have to think of things like that. I think we're going to be living with the living dead for quite a while.
Oh, definitely. I don't think this is something that would be sorted out even in 10 years.
Right. No, because you also have to think, though, there are going to be those stupid people out there that don't think when, oh God, then you think about all of the recently dead people in all of the hospitals all over the world that are in morgues.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we even said if we go to a colder climate, I think we're all under agreement that the colder the climate, the better it is for the living because you have less rate of disease.
Right.
But you also have zombies that aren't decomposing anymore at a rate that they were because they're frozen, but they don't feel pain, they don't feel anything, so it's not affecting them. They can live through that. Ms. Fan says, with that said, I think we are all dead with no hope unless zombies are just out. Wow, Ms., you're not in my community, that's for sure.
We're screwed.
Ms. can go, because there's nothing but positive in my community. I just, that's, wow.
Oh, that's not a good thought.
You know what, Ms., when it happens, just take a gun to your head anyways.
Oh.
just save yourself that way. Could you see Ms. just, oh no, here comes another zombie. Everybody kill yourself. There's a zombie coming. I'm teasing Ms.
Well, do you think that, that a zombie apocalypse is something that is a real possibility, no matter, despite what causes it?
Well, you know what? No, when we had our very first show, we had talked about things that caused this zombie-like stuff, and one of the things that was brought up was airborne rabies.
Yes.
And if it was caused by something like that, that's a whole different scenario. Put me in bubble wrap.
Right.
With the gas mask on, because breathing the air would be a very scary thing.
Yeah. If it's airborne, you're screwed.
Yeah, if it's airborne, you don't know. Everybody would live indoors somewhere with everything sealed up. You wouldn't want to be outside. That would be the last place you'd want to go because you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Every time the wind blows, you'd cry. Oh my God!
Oh no!
Yet. The wind's blowing. Fuck.
And in that case, I don't know that I'd want to live in a situation like that. I mean, that's morbid, but I don't know. I might decide that it'd be better not to deal with it.
DSC Studios says underground even. I mean, yeah, but how many? It's not like we have a huge, expansive thing for us to live underground. Maybe people with basements, full basements could live if they sealed off, were able to seal off the door that goes down into their basement, or what? Rob says he would survive because his room is basically in the basement of our house. But Rob says he wouldn't want to be there. So if we're talking if zombies are caused not by the undead, but are caused by a rabies virus that's spread airborne, and then you have people killing each other off because let's say they have an underground facility and they won't let you in, and you know what I mean? I think it would be a whole crazier scenario than the possibility of just dealing with the living dead.
I don't mean to go back to the cannibalism thing. Say that this was a real issue, people start eating people. Well, think about what would happen after you do that for a while. You've got things like that because it makes you sick,
No, I wouldn't I wouldn't even go there. For one, talking about it makes me nauseous. For two, like I said, I know I know that I can go out. I know, even in my own yard, I know what weeds I can eat in my yard.
Yeah.
I have enough dandelions in my yard that can last me for about 10 years. So I'll eat fucking dandelions every day if I have to. I am not going to be in a situation. I know for a fact I will not ever be in a situation where I will have to eat another human being. And you know why I wouldn't, though, especially during a zombie apocalypse? Because we won't have anything. It's not like we're going to have, you don't know who's going to be healthy, who's not, what disease they have. I'm not going to risk eating somebody that might have had AIDS. Sorry.
Right.
And that's the way I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've gone way on. Like, Rob's sitting behind me. He's like, whoa, we're talking about cannibalism now? What? No, I know, but there's going to be those communities that are not as well. There might be those people that... Rob just says to kill people that kill other people.
Okay.
And Phil's fan says hi, Rob. He says, "What's up? What's up, hot stuff?" So, but I, back to that question. I know enough on how to survive that I will not go that route.
Well, it's not really a good thing anyway. Even if you weren't sure what you could go out and find, that would be safe to eat because of the illnesses you can get from eating humans eating humans.
Right.
All kinds of neurological problems. I mean, eventually it would kill you. So, you're not really helping yourself out. And, but yeah, I don't think I could do it either. I think, I'm sure I would think about it if I got desperate, but I don't think I could actually do it.
Right. I don't think I could either, but I think there are those people that can, and I don't think they'd have a problem. And I think they're all living in the South. I'm being very honest with you. They have different standards than we do in the North, so.
Yeah. Hey, I am a Texan. I don't really claim it, so I shouldn't call myself a Texan.
I'm not saying that, necessarily all people, but I do believe, and I'm not talking about populated areas. I'm talking about Alabama.
Oh, God. Oh, fuck. Don't get me started on Alabama.
Okay, I'm talking about places like that, and I don't think they're going to have a problem with, what? They know how to hunt because they've got trucks and guns, but I just think they'd rather, food sitting next to me in this chair, so I'm going to shit. But, why, what time is it?
No,
Oh, we always go 2 hours like this. No. Zombie show, well, I'm just saying, I'm giving an example. I'm not necessarily saying that Alabama is a bad state, and I highly doubt that, the governor's listening to our show, so I don't think I'm going to have to post, a retraction on my Alabama comment. So,
oh, no, you can talk about all
says
of
they
Alabama.
fucking eat everything, even roadkill. Exactly my
Roadkill.
point, though. So,
Yes.
I'm sorry, but there still are people that will pull over and take a squirrel. I mean, I'm not trying to even be... Because the squirrel stew is an actual food. There's recipes. You Google it, you can find out, and it's there. So but no offense or anything, because I think 10 years into this, we will all be eating squirrel.
You think we'll all be eating squirrel
yes.
in 10 years?
I think,
or 10 years, not 10 years from now, but when it starts.
Yeah, I do think so. Apparently, I hear it tastes like chicken.
Oh, everything tastes like chicken. What does chicken taste like?
But look in channel, DSC Studios says turtle soup too. Absolutely.
Turtle soup? No, I'm going to
You know
pass.
what?
I'll eat a person.
No, you won't. You will not. You will eat fucking turtle soup. Don't even be like that.
Okay.
If you're hungry, and you only, honestly, and somebody has a small pot of turtle soup or something and some vegetables to eat with dinner, you're going to eat it. And you want to know why you're going to eat it? Because I need you to be healthy enough to do whatever job it is within our community. Because if you're not eating, then you're getting sick. And you know what? If you get sick in my community, we're offing you. You get shot. And that's and I'm not even being joking, because we talked about, in every community there would be a house where when you get sick, that's where you go, and we called it the death house, and it would be somebody's job. I mean, I'm sure we'd have somebody to take care of people when they're sick and stuff. But if you don't get better and you keep getting worse,
you get taken out.
Absolutely, because it's going to be honestly about survival of the fittest. If everybody's going to have to be able to ward off zombies themselves. No offense, but if there's zombies coming at me, I have to know that everybody in that community can take care of themselves, because as much as we are a community, it's going to be each,
Well, that's what survival's about.
You hate to say it, but that's going to, we're all going to live as a community to survive every day.
Mm-hmm.
But if zombies come up, I'm killing who I can kill, and I'm really not going to worry about you.
You can't be picking up everyone else's slack. You got to worry about your own ass.
No offense or anything, but if you can't, and if you get sick, I'm just gonna point a big foam finger to the zombies in the direction of the sick house and say, "Go there, man. Go there." They can't even fight. Just take them.
Well, I wouldn't be offended at that point. I think that that's definitely a good way to see things, and I think that I think more people should be able to see it that way. I think people get too caught up with emotions. This is my family.
Absolutely.
These are my friends.
By the way, just real quick, saying goodnight to DSC Studios. She has to leave to go eat dinner.
Oh.
Good night, hon. We'll talk to you later. Rob says good night. I think we are going to wrap it up. We've had some good conversation.
Definitely.
We talked about cannibalism for the first time, and that's definitely
welcome.
A new one. Thank you for bringing it. No, each guest has brought something new to the table, so we don't mind. Rob is still writing his survival guide, and
all right,
the Rebel Dead survival guide. And Debbie, Rob has asked, because you are such a zombie fan, if you would like to help him with that.
I would love to.
So you can get at him on Twitter, and you guys can get together and do that, and hopefully we'll be able to post that in the channel for everybody. Rob's actually going to get it published. Actually, I know exactly how to do that.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That would be that'll be really cool.
I'm definitely down for that. Sure.
But as always, I would like to thank everybody in channel, Ms. and Blue and DSC Studios, Loco, Kazuki, Shadow, Phil's Fan, all my regulars that show up every week for our show. Thank you very much for dropping in. And tomorrow night, Rebel Live gaming show. We're going to be talking about Google Internet, the PS3 or is it the PS4? I think I had some news on, and a lot of other stuff. So if you guys can join us tomorrow, please do. I have a lot of stuff actually prepared. I have my first server big diss on Battlefield. I've had some communications with the admin too, and he's very nervous about me dissing his server. And and Rob's holding up one of our kittens to the microphone, hoping that he will meow, and the cat looks terrified. But thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you very much, Debbie, for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure.
And good night.